In case you run out of baking powder but need something to give you the same result as that of baking powder, these three things are what you need to do. In the first method, you need your baking soda. So if you have baking soda at home, just get your baking soda, 1 tablespoon of the baking soda, and to this you're going to be adding 1 tablespoon of corn flour or cornstarch, so whatever one you call it. Then to that you add 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. So that means you have 1:1:2 ratio. Next, you go ahead and sift everything together thoroughly, and you have your DIY baking powder that will give you the same result as when you use the store-bought baking powder. So go ahead and make sure you store this in airtight container. I use my old baking soda container to store this, and you are ready to use it. Method 2 and 3. For the method 2, you need 1 teaspoon of the baking soda with 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. So in case you want to increase your recipe, if you are using 1 tablespoon of a baking soda, make sure you are using 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Just like that, you're going to mix it together. Okay, so I added baking soda in the 2 parts of the plate. To the first part, I'm making the method 2, which is adding of 1 teaspoon of the baking soda and adding 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice, into the baking soda. Okay, you're going to add it and mix it together. Then if you are making a cake, you add this to your cake batter and make sure you mix it very well, because if you don't mix it very well and have some lumps or particles of this in your cake, it's going to affect the taste of your cake. So you have to make sure you mix it very well. Okay, and to the second or the other part, for my third recipe or third method, I added buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of the baking soda with 1 teaspoon of buttermilk. You can replace the buttermilk with white vinegar or dissolve citric acid. You can dissolve a citric acid with little water, then add it into this and mix it together. Then you have your baking powder. So each of these can serve. So now let's try making our own baking soda. Yes, there is no substitute for baking soda. Yeah, so the only thing you need to do, if a recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of baking soda and you don't have baking soda at home, what you need to do is just replace this with 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So that means that you need more of a baking powder to get the exact result that less of a baking soda will give you. So I'm just showing you that I served this. This is my homemade baking powder. Now I decided to try something. I made a little cake batter, and this cake batter I shared it into 4 different parts, although the last one was less. So to the first one, I added the lemon juice, the baking powder I made with lemon juice. And to the second one, I added this one, like the one I'm pointing now is the one I made with lemon juice. The second one is baking powder with buttermilk. The third one is the baking powder, corn flour, and cream of tartar. And the last one is the normal store-bought baking powder. So I baked this the same time, and you can see how fluffy the cake came out. All of them came out so good, so fluffy and very delicious. Okay, like I said, whenever you add any of these to your cakes, make sure that you mix them very well, else you're going to have a bitter taste or kind of a sour taste in your cakes. So in my next video, we're going to look at the reactivity of baking powder and baking soda, and also we're going to make use of each of these baking powder I made and the store-bought baking powder separately to bake. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe.